is in the know for Monday, January 31, the 31st day of 2022. There are 334 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. What's our weather week looking like? Well, we'll tell you. And Super Bowl 56 is set. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's B. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
We are, at our house, we are avid fans of the movie Inside Out. Yes? Joy, well, the primary character.
Yeah.
We like her. And I have found that the construction of that movie is as much for adults as it is for children, because it kind of helps us understand how our memories are organized and
emotions
and how they're formed and how to control those. Well, so I read this morning that you never really lose your memories. The latest research indicates that your memories never leave the brain. They just become harder to access. And so it is the bad memories that tend to get out of reach faster than good ones do. So that's good. You file those away deeper and it's harder to get to them. But it also seemed like the more even, blessed with a good memory, the more you put in there, the more clutter there is. And it's hard, to get to one, you got to move another one out of the way. But kind of a interesting piece of information there. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's a 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe. London, Moscow, Paris, and even Kansas City. He's Sam Gormley and the Spartans. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
I don't even know. Don't even know how to put it into words.
What do you mean? Did something happen this weekend? Something.
Yeah, there was a game canceled Friday night after we'd already gotten set up for it.
Yeah.
Kentucky had a good win on Saturday.
I heard that. And that was all there was to the sports weekend, wasn't there?
And the city of Cincinnati started burning at the seams.
Okay, so my question for you, Sam, so two things I want to know. We're going to talk more about the AFC Championship game in a few minutes, and I know you don't want to wait. You want to talk about it now. But two things that I do want to know. At the end of regulation, when the coin toss was held, and Cincinnati lost the coin toss, what was your feeling when you lost the toss?
I thought it was over.
Okay.
I thought, well, for one, I knew tails never fails. Always call tails. Okay. Always call tails.
Okay.
And it was when he called heads, I thought, oh, great, here we go. And then I thought, especially when Eli Apple dropped what would have been the game-winning pick six, that was like, oh! And then the next play, Jesse Bates taps it to Von Bell and
giving away all the stuff. I asked the question was how you felt about the coin toss because of the the way that the coin toss was so significant in the Bills-Chiefs game, and then. Last question before we talk about the forecast. Will this be the longest 2 weeks of your life?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it is, and I was reading on just how much it means to the city of Cincinnati. It's like this city has not had a team play for a championship since 1990.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
And really, this is the first time that they won a playoff game since that stretch, too. I mean, the Reds were in the playoffs in 1995. But in my lifetime, this is the first time.
Yeah. Well,
Kentucky's it.
You'll see on my board today.
I did. I appreciate it.
I've been holding the Icky Shuffle for all these years. And can I just say, life's been about as hard on Icky Shuffle as it's been on me, apparently. I saw him yesterday.
Did you see Joe Burrow throw out the Icky Shuffle there at the end?
I did not see it, but I'm sure it'll be available on Twitter if I want to go find it. Quiet today weather-wise, but a potential winter storm could move through the region later this week. Every few hours when you look at the forecast, it's all rain, or then they say say, oh, well, no, not going to be all rain. Going to switch over to maybe some ice and then some snow. So the timing of this is going to be very important. And it's still being 4 days out. It may, it's hard to know where that freezing line is going to hit. It's going to be hard to know where that system moves down out of Canada and then makes its elbow to move back toward the northeast, because you'll get, pressure moving out of the Gulf of Mexico that will help push that storm back into the northeast. So there's just a very, very fine line between what we're going to get, but it's primarily now going to be Thursday night. We're going to get a major rain event on Wednesday. We're going to get a lot of rain, later on Wednesday, and then rain a lot of the day on Thursday. Then it just depends on how quickly the temperature drops before the rain system moves through. And we'll have to check back in and zero in on this sometime tomorrow. And then obviously probably by Tuesday night, it really starts to come into focus on
the thing that we got to hope for is if it drops, drop. Because you don't want it to have that 32, 33, because that's when you get the ice.
Hovering is bad. Hovering around, plus or minus the freezing mark is bad. So just get on down. Just get on down to 28, 25 in that range about as quick as you can if you're going to get there, since the overnight low on Thursday is 19. Partly cloudy, 46 today, partly cloudy, and 35 tonight. So not below freezing overnight tonight for the first time in a while, but partly cloudy, warmer tomorrow, high of 60. You'll want to take your jacket off tomorrow, and then you'll want to put it back on Friday morning when you get out. The United States worked yesterday to ramp up diplomatic and financial pressure on Russia over Ukraine, promising to put Moscow and the defensive on the defensive as the UN Security Council, as lawmakers on Capitol Hill said they were nearing an agreement on the mother of all sanctions. Let's see. So we know what Moab is. So this is MOAS, mother of all sanctions. That's just one S. Doesn't have two. The American ambassador to the United Nations said the Security Council will press Russia hard in a Monday session today to discuss its massing of troops near Ukraine, and fears it is planning an invasion. Also, North Korea fired another missile over the weekend and hit Guam. What did Guam ever do to North Korea? That's the thing I like about Guam in my lifetime. It was one of two ways you described of being forever away. There was Guam, and then there was a little locale in Egypt that was also tucked away, that if you needed to talk about being in the middle of nowhere.
No, at Western, the one parking lot at the bottom of the hill creasing lot is known as Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt. And then there's just also a lot of, we had to go all the way to Guam to get there. So obviously the United States has used Guam over the years. It's not technically a territory, is it? It is a territory? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
I'm almost positive it is.
Then shout out to our territory there in Guam, and North Korea needs to leave it alone. Mm-hmm. Just I
heard it's very nice there.
Get back. The Grayson County school system returning for another week of classes today, and they issued some COVID-19 dashboard numbers on Friday, kind of wrapping up their week, saying that as of Friday, there were 163 students who were COVID-19 positive. 333 were in quarantine, so that was up somewhat from their last report on January the 19th. The number of GC schools staff impacted by COVID-19 has risen only slightly. There were 41 staff members either positive or in quarantine back on January the 19th. On Friday, the number of staff members affected by the virus had risen by only 2, and there were, I think, 17 staff in quarantine out of 615. So it's kind of an update there. We'll get a statewide update later on today, which will have a funny number. Have an artificially low number just because of the testing. But keeping an eye on that coming back down, still the COVID map is red. At K105.com today, you can read a story on the outcome of the filing deadline in Grayson County. The political filing deadline was extended because of redistricting maps, but that did come to pass now, and so you can kind of see how the election cycle is shaping up for 2022. When looking at it, there are a couple of, I will call them B-list races. There are some things that there's some races, some offices there that they are important, but they aren't headline offices. And here, I fear poor turnout for the May primary, where these couple of offices are going to be decided, because in Grayson County, most of your elections are decided in the primary because it's so predominantly Republican registered. Most of your competitive races are primary races. Well, there aren't any top ticket race. There's not a presidential year. You've got the Rand Paul Booker race, but that won't be until the fall. So there's no primary to get people excited about that. And then there's so many, either like in Litchfield City Council race, there's 12 candidates, so there's no primary there because it's 6 seats, 12 candidates. If they had had one more, they would have had to have a primary, which would drive some people to the polls. But your top ticket offices, your, judge executive, that type of thing aren't, those aren't competitive. Some of your magisterial races are kind of non-starters. And so I just don't know what to make of the May primary on what it's going to take to motivate people.
I do know that to
get to the polls.
There is, for state rep, there is a primary there.
Yes, but it just...
Yeah, but you're right that there aren't many, because I even think that I know the sheriff has a competitor, but I believe that he's independent registered, so that's not even a primary.
An additional wrinkle into the...
Yeah, so it's...
Yeah.
But there aren't many primaries at all.
Kentucky lawmakers have wrapped up a work on Friday on extending a pandemic-related provision allowing designated family and friends to visit residents of long-term care facilities. The bill won final passage on a 31-0 vote in the Senate, sending the bipartisan-backed measure to Governor Beshear. The legislation cleared the House on Thursday. The goal is to prevent long-term care residents from feeling isolated from their families as the COVID-19 pandemic persists. The bill would maintain designated in-person visits in those facilities. In the early days of this mess we were in, those were the people that we were worried the most about, because they were on lockdown of all lockdowns. I mean, people just not even able to visit, had to get creative. I remember seeing pictures of family members who would go stand outside windows just to be able to see, their loved ones through the windows, and trying to support them as much as you could. Julie Rocky Adams said, patient care is not just about medical care. And that's true. There's obviously a component to that goes beyond just your vitals. Under the bill, long-term care residents can designate at least one essential personal care visitor to make in-person visits. Visitors could include relatives, legal guardians, friends, caregivers, volunteers. Visitors would have to follow safety protocols of the community or facility. It also applies to assisted living communities and mental health hospitals. So it may not be ideal, but it is better than nothing. So I would, again, like a lot of things, I would expect the governor will sign this. But if he were to veto it, they'll just override the veto and go on. Again, it was bipartisan backed, so it seems to be practical to me. The governor handed over travel trailer keys on Friday to a group of families that lost their homes when the tornadoes ripped through. I'm almost going to have to stop officially tomorrow. I won't be able to say last month any longer. In early December is when that happened. The governor visited Mayfield and Dawson Springs in western Kentucky as families moved into trailers providing medium-term housing. We told you about these trailers on Friday, but that did take place. I also saw a really nice story yesterday on CBS Sunday Morning about a place in Dawson Springs, a little restaurant, and these little restaurants dot the landscape in every small town you go to, but this one was called Miss Becky's Place. And so they just did a nationwide feature on Miss Becky and her home cooking that she served up. And while, she had to be closed for a little while, but they were able to reopen, and talked about, she was interacting with the customers. She said, I went to school with your so-and-so. And communities have Miss Becky.
You better believe she makes some good biscuits and gravy.
That's
Right?
exactly right.
Oh my!
But
Fried chicken.
What
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked was when they would bring the orders out. So it was like a lunchtime order. They'd come out, and one plate would be scrambled eggs and biscuit and gravy and sausage and all that, and then the other one would be like a chef's salad and a hamburger, and
Roast
so
beef,
it's like
probably.
you can get it all there, and so it's just nice to see. Nice to be able to get a glimpse into what's going on in Mayfield and Dawson Springs as they try and recover. The man accused of shooting a Kentucky State trooper multiple times has been arrested, and the trooper has been released from the hospital. State police said Laquan Taylor of Lexington, he's 22 years of age, was arrested by troopers and charged with attempted murder of a police officer, as well as other charges. He's being held in the Bourbon County Regional Detention Center on a $1 million bond. He is accused of shooting a trooper 6 times Friday afternoon about 4:20 on Delta Court, which is a mobile home park in Cynthiana. That's over in Harrison County. Police said the preliminary investigation shows that 3 of the shots struck the trooper's ballistic vest. 1 shot struck his taser, 1 struck his body-worn radio, and the final round struck his body, causing serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The trooper returned fire, emptying the firearms magazine. Witnesses said that up to 20 shots were fired during the exchange. It all stemmed from a traffic stop. And so the good news is, the takeaway is, he's in jail. And the better news is that the trooper will survive and
He's
has
home.
been discharged from the hospital. An electric vehicle-related operation will build a facility in Kentucky, creating 200 full-time jobs. The $95 million Louisville plant will be Quadrant's first mass production facility in the United States. It will manufacture rare earth magnets, which are made from alloys of rare earth elements for use in electric vehicle motors and other fields. Okay. We're all electric. What are we going to do with these batteries?
Put them in the car?
No, what about when they have to come out of the car? Like, what do we I mean, we're going to stop using fossil fuels, seemingly or apparently, but how are we going to dispose of all these batteries?
I have some suggestions, but I probably should keep those to myself.
Okay.
I don't have any idea. No, I don't know what you do with them.
Sam, I know you saw people on Twitter. I saw people on Twitter who did the double. Like Kentucky fans from the Lexington area that went to Kansas, and I know you strongly considered it.
Yeah, and then I realized that it wasn't going to happen. I wanted to, but it was going to be a major financial.
The Cats went to Allen Fieldhouse and put a whooping on the Kansas Jayhawks.
It was great. It was.
Oh, it was wonderful.
And as I think Jay Billis said, it was. I think in the closing seconds, he said this was never a game.
That's right.
And he was right.
The biggest thing Kentucky did on Saturday is they took the field house out of it from the beginning. They went on that stretch where they went on an 8-0 run early and kind of stunned everybody and then held them at bay, which they were able to do at Auburn until the injuries occurred and Auburn snuck back in and then the crowd got behind.
Did you see the video of the scoreboard?
I did. I loved it. I thought it was an omen of what was about to come.
The poor player. Like, in all seriousness, I'm surprised he was able to keep going.
Sam will show you during the break, hon. But it's
Okay.
they're running out of the tunnel. The Kansas players are
And
running
the
out of the tunnel,
scoreboard
and the scoreboard
and
falls
just
down and hits a kid in the
face.
forehead. Yeah, in the face.
As he's running.
You'll laugh. It's the type of thing you'll laugh at. I promise that you'll do that. Keon Brooks had 27 points.
played great.
He did play. He had a great opportunity for him to really showcase. Oscar Shibwe had 17 points, 14 rebounds. Just consistent, and so the Cats will. I believe in looking back. If you don't lose Ty and you don't lose Xavier Wheeler for a period of time in the Auburn game, the same thing happens at Auburn.
And LSU.
Probably, yeah, and LSU. So, if they can stay healthy,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Look out.
And that's for any team. I mean, really, you stay healthy and anything can happen.
all right. The Bengals topped the Chiefs 27-24 at Arrowhead yesterday.
It's called Burrowhead now.
Burrowhead. Evan McPherson kicked a 31-yard field goal with 9:22 left in overtime, and
Yes, I did.
and so the Bengals erased an 18-point deficit. So, but still nervous on the coin toss on the overtime. Didn't go Cincinnati's way, but again, B.J. Hill intercepting that pass Listen, your playoff season has been made by opportunistic interceptions.
The last 3 defensive plays for the Bengals in the 3 playoff games have all been interceptions.
Yeah.
Jermaine Pratt against the Raiders. You had Logan Wilson against the Titans, and then you had Von Bell against the Chiefs. And I mean, to the city of Cincinnati, it means more than. I think that there's only maybe 2 other cities that this would have meant more to, and I really could only argue one, and that would be Detroit. Because I think as far as just this run to Cincinnati for the Bengals, they've been the butt of the joke for so long, especially over these past few years. But now things are really coming together, and it feels really good. And now you get to go to L.A. and have a team that I don't think the Rams are unbeatable by any means. You're playing them on their home field, which is obviously not ideal.
It didn't seem like their home field yesterday for a lot of the game.
No, but then again, San Francisco is a lot closer to L.A. than Cincinnati is.
Yeah.
But if anybody has $6,000 laying around and they'd like to donate it to the fund.
Well, I did. So a couple funny things that I read. Eminem is performing at halftime of the Super Bowl.
Correct.
And Matthew Stafford is playing in the Super Bowl. That may be the closest Detroit gets to the Super Bowl because of those 2 connections. The Super Bowl is a lot more neutral. Like, yes, it's home field advantage, but so many of the tickets go to just NFL fans. They get resold, but the NFL, there's a lot of players, a lot of families. It's a more neutral environment just because it's at SoFi in L.A., and the community of L.A. hasn't really decided they love the Rams yet.
We'll see, and it's interesting because the AFC is technically the home team this year, so theoretically, if the Bengals want to, they can take the Rams locker room. And I'll be curious to see if they do.
How much of that gamesmanship will take place.
But luckily, there's probably 2 really nice locker rooms because the Chargers also play there. So if anything, the Bengals might be like, okay, you keep yours and we'll take the Chargers. But maybe do you? Like, I don't know.
Just to get in their heads a little bit. I don't know. But the Super Bowl 56 is set. Congratulations to all the Bengals fans and faithful and keeping the faith. And then you got one game on Friday night, Sam. You got Grayson County, Edmonson County girls. And then things got the plug got pulled on Friday night.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Edmonson County's boys showed up. They were there.
Yeah.
And they decided that they wanted to hit the road.
Everybody got to go home early.
And so that game has been rescheduled 1 week from tonight.
Okay.
7 o'clock.
A week from tonight. And then you got girls action tonight.
North Bullitt.
North
Bullitt, which is a new game. They were supposed to be at Breck, but now they're hosting North Bullitt.
All right, very good. So, busy weekend. And yes, Sam did float into the office today. He's on cloud 9.
Oh, who day?
Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
Are you missing an opportunity for growth in your current role? Join Coremark, and you'll be encouraged to explore new directions and challenged to increase your skills and impact. We believe the power by one is strengthened by all. Our positions are motivated by supportive management, competitive pay, and encouraging employees to meet their full potential. We offer night shifts starting pay varying from $12 an hour to $17 an hour. Our order selector position responsibilities include, but aren't limited to, pulling orders, consolidating merchandise, and moving into picking containers. Full case positions operate an electric pallet jack in order to fulfill their orders accordingly to their delivery route and run list. If you are not trained on our equipment, training and a certification will be provided. Forklift driver position duties include stocking the warehouse in order to fulfill orders, assist in production flow, and supplying assistance to the production lines as needed. Coremark offers a $2,000 sign-on bonus as well as competitive benefits. Apply now at careers.core-mark.com or call 270-259-9341, extension 5420.
It's here. NCTC, powered by Warren RECC, now offers high-speed internet to parts of Grayson County. With the fastest speeds available anywhere, working from home, virtual education, or just streaming your favorite movies is now a reality. To see if high-speed internet is now available in your area or if it will be soon, visit fiberforgrayson.com. Call 270-971-2021 to schedule your installation today.
TikTok is trying to fight back against Holocaust misinformation and anti-Semitism. They're adding a banner directing users to a Holocaust information website called aboutholocaust.org that will appear at the top of TikTok search results whenever someone looks for Holocaust victims, Holocaust survivor, or other terms related to the genocide. Apple's testing out some new emojis for iPhones and iPads. Amongst others, there's a melting face, biting lip, hard hands, nest with eggs, x-ray, crutch, playground slide wheel, and a mirror ball. Tesla is selling a new accessory, a microphone for in-car karaoke. Tesla Mic is only available in China for the time being. It automatically pairs with the car's infotainment system, so you can pull over and start belting out your favorite tunes. There's no word on if the accessory will ever come to the U.S. Tech Report. Larry Olson, NBC.
Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing.
Today is backwards day. I still think that's better than opposite day if you have kids. Bubble wrap day. It's also Scotch tape day. Speaking of kids, you give one a Leia some bubble wrap and some Scotch tape, and you won't hear a peep from her for hours.
She's golden.
And some Post-it notes, right?
And some Post-it notes, that's right. She's got to make her accounts.
Yeah, I've still got mine down here.
And it is
It
also...
hasn't been updated, though, so I don't know if
It's all right. You haven't...
my payroll didn't clear, I guess.
There's no debits or credits on your account. And it is also hot chocolate day today.
Do you know,
so,
can this be turned in for Super Bowl tickets? Do you know?
You'll have to ask her what there may be some type of cryptocurrency attached to your account that she gave you. February begins tomorrow, so the start of a new month, and it will. I've been able to keep close track. The beginning of the show, I always say that it's January 18th and the 18th day of the year. Well, now my math's not going to line up anymore. Tomorrow will be the 32nd day of the year, but it'll be February 1st.
You made the point of with the tornadoes it being cut. It feels like it was a lot longer ago.
Uh-huh.
Well, the day that happened was also the last time Grayson County played Edmonson County. So on Friday, I even did a thing last month. I was like, oh, wow, that was last month. It's like, it just feels like so long ago.
But so many events take place between them with, the holidays and that type of thing. But tomorrow also begins American Heart Month. It begins Black History Month. It begins National Grapefruit Month. But then I don't know any.
It's not my favorite.
In case you consider yourself maybe this label or some, I'm just advising you that it's the month. You decide whether you fit into the category. February is Spunky Old Broads Month. So for anyone who might let their spunky old broad flag fly,
How do you celebrate that?
February is all about you. Listen, you know a spunky old broad when you see one.
Oh yeah, I'm not denying that.
Mm-hmm. Like it is clear. I think there's no gray area whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
You say, yeah, spunky old broad. But I'm not calling anyone one. I'm just saying it's sometimes easy to observe. Tomorrow is Chinese New Year. The date varies, but this year it's tomorrow.
And you know what it's the year of, right?
Is it the rat again?
It's the year of the tiger.
Well,
It's a good omen.
That would make sense. Tomorrow, Wednesday is Groundhog Day.
Oh, love Groundhog Day.
Doozy.
Somebody call Bill Murray.
Thursday is. Well, I was going to say we used to have an indirect connection to Bill Murray, but now that's been severed.
Yeah, he got fired before last year. And see how that turned out.
Thursday is Feed the Birds Day. Well, maybe Bill Murray's son will be the new coach at U of L.
I hope not. I don't like Bill Murray there and U of L stuff.
Thursday is Feed the Birds Day.
Okay.
Friday is Stuffed Mushroom Day. Stuffed mushrooms are
sounds
good. February 6th is National Chopsticks Day. February 7th, I did think it was funny. So it's February 3rd is Feed the Birds Day. February 7th is Don't Give Your Neighbor the Bird Day because it's Wave All Your Fingers at Your Neighbor Day. February 7th. All of them. Not just the one you like the most. All of them. February 9th is National Pizza Day. February 10th is Umbrella Day. Lincoln's birthday is the 12th. Super Bowl Sunday, of course, is the 13th. February 14th is Valentine's Day, as always. Susan B. Anthony Day on the 15th. The 20th is Hootie Hoo Day. That means it's halfway. We're halfway to spring on February 20th. The Winter Olympics will end on February 20th. They begin this week.
I was going to say, that kind of came out of nowhere.
President's Day on the 21st. Tennis Day on the 23rd. Carnival is on the 26th. So that means Ash Wednesday doesn't fall until sometime into the month of March this year. Must mean Easter is a little bit later. So Valentine's Day, of course, following middle of the month. It will, with February 1st beginning tomorrow. Valentine's Day, quickly by the numbers. The holiday ranking of Valentine's Day for consumer spending on fresh flowers and plants is number one. Mm-hmm. Not even all the poinsettias or the Easter flowers we buy or anything like that will even come close to hitting Valentine's Day. 15, the number of days left this year to make plans for purchasing. 1916 is the year that Hallmark's Valentine's Day greetings first appeared on store shelves. The company's founder, J.C. Hall, began selling Valentine's Day postcards earlier, though, in 1910. So the actual greeting cards, 1916. 145 million is the approximate number of Valentine's Day cards exchanged industry-wide every Valentine's Day. By the way, this doesn't include the ones you drop in the kids drop in their Valentine boxes at school. If you count those, it's way more. No, 145 million. 21.8 billion is the total amount last year that Americans spent on Valentine's Day gifts. $32 per person is the amount the Valentine's Day spending was down per individual last year. So it's $32 less per person last year than the year before. 64% of people, the number of those participating in a survey 2 years ago about who said they planned on buying gifts for all the people and pets they love. And 52% of adults is the number of U.S. adults who last year planned to celebrate Valentine's Day, though obviously celebrations were quite different. There'll even be some different, this year. And I don't know how Valentine's Day is going to fare in this new NFL configuration.
Day after Super Bowl?
It's obviously not always going to be the day after Super Bowl, but it's going to be Valentine's Day weekend now until the NFL does something different is going to be Super Bowl Sunday because of the way they've changed the postseason or changed the regular season to add a game. They pushed Super Bowl back a week further. This is going to cause some tension, is it not, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I don't deny that, but listen, that's going to be a celebration Monday. There's no doubt about that.
Someone will be celebrating that day, Sam. You are absolutely right. You are you are 100% correct.
Someone will be Victory Monday.
Will be celebrating that day. If you are taking iOS 15.4, you may be excited about a new crop of emoji, including a melting face. If someone ever told you something and it melted your face,
can't say I've ever had that.
Someone saluting.
Okay, I see that one.
Yep.
I thought we already had one of it covering the mouth. I thought we already had some of it. I guess might be an old picture because I feel like we already have some of these.
I don't think so.
Maybe. No, there is one of covering the mouth. I've seen that one. Someone saluting. Beans. So.
I mean, who hasn't want to send that emoji, right?
I'll
But
use
could be
that one.
helpful. I would like to do better. Here's what I'd like to do. I was never a huge fan of algebra when I was a kid, but I would like to take my Mad Libs skills plus my algebra skills and use emoji to communicate.
No, the bottom left, is that like a windsock? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I'm not sure. I really like the pointy finger.
I don't even know what that is.
And then I don't know what's
the green
above
thing?
that.
I don't know what that is either. That because
Well,
it's not given on the list. So there's a slightly
bands.
uncomfortable biting lip icon.
Okay.
So
I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's
yeah.
the crooked mouth, like
I feel like
not
we already got
not
that
the
one, don't
turned
we?
up. No, I think there's just a smirk, but you got hands making the heart thing, and then yeah,
All right. Lily pad, bird's nest.
is that a succulent in the middle of the next to the lower row?
No, I think
Isn't that a lily pad?
that's what I said. I think it's a lily
you
pad.
would know better than I would.
Well, and to the left of that would be coral, right? But I'm interested. What is the green thing?
The one to the left of the coral?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
That's Cubert let his hair grow out.
Like some kind of.
iOS 15.4 beta also includes the ability to use Face ID while wearing a mask. It already does that. secondary facial ID. My phone does that.
No, mine doesn't work that way.
Mine does not.
It doesn't?
No.
Are you sure?
I've
That
ne-
you've
I,
just
always,
never-
I always have to pull my mask down really quick. When
But
I
if
do
you
that.
set it up, I think you can do
Oh,
it.
I haven't set it up.
Yeah, I think because I had to do it. Because when I did my phone and facial recognition is during the time when we were supposedly doing that. So anyway, there you go. New Funfetti mini pancakes are filled with candy. Pillsbury is making breakfast tastier and easier with its new Funfetti mini pancakes. Not only will you get a stack worth taking a picture of, but it'll also add a sweet element to your mornings. Funfetti mini pancakes.
I think I know somebody that might like those, right?
Yeah, I definitely know. And yeah, she would.
Because I know that said person likes pancakes, and I gotta presume she likes funfetti.
Oh, the
listen.
funfetti or the better
And
your.
her muffins are birthday muffins.
Yep,
so.
she likes that too. So, and again, by the way, I used the new griddle this weekend. Again, I've just been griddling it all up, so I could probably. These are probably microwavable. Yeah,
They are.
They're not. They're already pre-made.
I mean, you could probably put it on the griddle. I don't know that.
Make it look good.
We don't
just,
have time for
Just
that
the
in the
optics
morning.
of it's like, hey, look at me! I'm flipping the pancakes around. And then this headline made me laugh. Female prisoners fined. I don't know how you find female prisoners. Female prisoners in Germany fined over a mashed potato fight in a German jail. The cellmates at a prison in Augsburg got into a disagreement and began throwing potato mash at each other. Then one woman threw her entire plate of potato mash at the other, who responded by repeating the gesture. It quickly turned into a brawl. Both the inmates were injured. A court in the southern town of Augsburg ordered one of the defendants to pay a fine of 2,700 euros, while the other was asked to pay a fine of 1,800 euros. So
It's a big fine.
well, you'll wonder, so how do we find inmates? Listen, the prison system in Europe is much different. You can come and go. Like, you have to live in a certain place in Europe if you're a prisoner, but you get to come and go, and you get to go to art class, and it is completely different. So they're out working and doing whatever. So that's how they're able to do it. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
We're a farm store, a family store, a look what I found store. We're a store made for real people and some real beasts. We're a hey neighbor kind of store and an everyday low price store. We're Rural King, and we're working hard to be your favorite store. Check out the huge selection of men's, women's, and kids' Wrangler clothing at the lowest prices every day, like these Wrangler Retro Bootcut jeans for just $49.99.
All Kentucky driver licensing is moving from circuit clerk offices in every county.
to regional offices.
And the new regional offices offer more licensing choices than ever before.
Get a driver's license valid for 4 years.
Or 8 years.
Get a real ID?
Or a standard license.
Renew online or in person.
You can even visit any regional office you'd like. It's next level licensing.
Learn more at drive.ky.gov.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center needs your help. The 2022 Community Health Needs Assessment for Grayson County is underway, and we want to know what health needs are most important to you. The more we know, the better we can care for our community. Go to owensborohealth.org/Twin Lakes survey to participate in this anonymous survey, or stop by the hospital to pick up a copy. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center. Help us build a healthier Grayson County.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
Not a bad setup for this Monday. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. Temperatures, not too shabby. About 46 this afternoon, 35 tonight with a strong south wind. We may get close to 60 on Tuesday. That will eventually just rainfall as we head into Wednesday, some of that locally heavy. And then back to the wintry mess by Thursday. For the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
Don't jump, Jenny. Can't hear this song without thinking of Jenny on the balcony in Forrest Gump. Did you know? Research shows King Tut may have died in a chariot accident. Yep.
Didn't he die like 14 or something like that?
Exactly. So, etching hieroglyphics while driving. So, see, teenagers make that mistake all the time.
That's their equivalent of texting while driving?
That's exactly right. And see where it gets you? It got old King Tut. Absolutely. There you go. Let's see. On the weekend box office, Spider-Man No Way Home won a slow weekend. Again. So until something else comes along.
Because everybody was watching the Bengals make the Super Bowl.
I thought they were watching Kentucky beat the snot out of the...
Well, they could watch both.
Of the Jayhawks. Did you look up the video and show her yet?
I have it on my phone.
Okay. I noticed I had to step out and you all were exchanging. She had to show you an albino fox.
But
and
you actually didn't send it to me, so it's on your phone.
I see. Gotcha.
So I can't show him. And
I found it as Freebird started playing.
Gotcha. Okay. So during this next break, Katy Perry performed a couple of numbers on Saturday Night Live, had like magic mushroom versions of Never Really Over, which she did a different arrangement of. So it was kind of an interesting take. And then she did a song called When I'm Gone. So she did a typical
Willem Dafoe do?
Katy Perry. He did a good job. He's got such good range. He's lived in New York for a long time. So they did some New York centric things. The residents meeting in a building in New York City and thing. It was pretty good. Peyton Manning did a cameo on SNL on the Weekend Update, and that self-deprecating, he was funny because they asked him about last week's playoff games, and he said that he was getting ready to start, but an hour before the first game started, he binge watched Emily in Paris, and he watched all of season 2. So I hadn't heard of Emily in Paris until Peyton Manning mentioned it. I'm getting a funny look from you over there.
I presume you know what it is.
Do you know?
I do,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I had no idea what it was.
Now, I've not watched it,
okay.
but I do know what it is.
Reality TV?
Is it sort of? I mean...
Or is it like more like a...
She goes to Paris, she lives there. It's kind of has a reality type of...
Okay.
But anyway,
it was funny. I watched it, but I don't know that it could top his with the foam footballs hitting the kids in the back of the head.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, it was just kind of he did a good job. He's got pretty good sense of humor about things. John Mulaney is going to host Saturday Night Live for the 5th time. Coming up, they announced that he will host on February 26th. This will be his 5th time, which means probably Candace Bergen or Tom Hanks or somebody, Tina Fey, I think now is maybe in the club, will come out and give him his jacket. They all get those fancy smoking jackets when they host the show for the 5 time.
You fine with him?
I guess, I know really what I know about John Mulaney comes from him hosting Saturday Night Live 4 previous times. I know he was a writer on the show. I've seen a little bit of his stand-up, but only because it was connected to his SNL appearance. So, aren't he and Olivia Munn a thing now?
I don't know. Sorry. Got distracted.
Yeah, it's the Bengals are on TV.
You see that headline?
You all know I'm a fan of Wordle. I'm not playing it religiously.
I haven't seen your tweets about it yet.
No, I'm not. No, I won't be tweeting about it. But I am playing. I'm not playing every day. I haven't played in a few days, but I can feel it happening.
Here's an idea for you. You can put it on your board.
Oh, please, no. Here's the thing. Some of my most favorite people are playing, but they're posting on social media that I pay attention to.
Yeah.
And
Are they ruining it?
a little bit, yes.
No, I mean, are they giving the word away? 'Cause that's
No,
poor
they're
form.
not. It's just the colors of the tiles.
The thing I like, and see, that's okay. I mean, but you won't catch me. That's like me posting
I
a
don't
picture
wanna
of
see
what
it.
I'm about to eat. Like, oh, look at my
I'd
dinner
rather
for tonight.
see what you're going to eat as opposed to that.
So, but the thing I like about Wordle is that one, it's a shared experience, but you can't binge it. Like you can't, you get a word, or if you're behind, you can catch up. But there's no way you can watch the entire season, play the entire book of Wordle, and then you're done. Now, like, what am I going to do? You get, refresher on it every day, so you can just do one. It's like the crossword puzzle. But I will tell you, you all know this about me. Once things get to be so popular, I go, okay, I'm out with that. This is like, I liked it when it was cool and it was developing. It's like, oh, that's a neat thing. But when it's everywhere, I go, I think I'm out. And here's where maybe I'm officially out. The people who have created Wordle, the guy named John Wardle, Wardle, they have now created a version of, it's called Taylordle, and it's all about Taylor Swift. And so all the words in the puzzle are from the Swiftie verse. And this is where I kind of have to go, wait, I don't dislike Taylor Swift to the level that you do. But I'm also one of these, well, now if we're just going to have offshoots and versions, and like, I think I'm going to be moving on. But that's just me.
I don't know. I have no strong opinion.
Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. The Janet Jackson documentary was on over the weekend, 2-part documentary. And she said she and Justin Timberlake are good friends after the Super Bowl scandal. She said that they spoke just a few days ago. She said, Justin and I are very good friends, and we always will be very good friends. She said, he and I have moved on, and it's time for everyone else to do the same.
It'll never happen, will it?
It's just always a punchline. It's just always I don't know. I guess because it happened still during one of those moments where the majority of Americans were sitting and watching at the same time. When I was a kid, Who Shot JR and all those things, if you wanted to watch something on television, you had to be sitting there, and all of America, just like the I Love Lucy thing we were talking about recently. But now it's so fragmented, and there are people doing other things, and but the Super Bowl halftime show is still one of those things, and it was 15 years ago that people were watching and going, hey. So
see, that's the thing. This year's Super Bowl halftime show, I will probably not watch a single second of it because I will be way too stressed out.
Okay.
You got to remember, my team is playing for the first time in my lifetime. I will not be. I will be watching, but I will not be paying attention.
Okay.
I will probably go back and reconsume it, but I will be too stressed to watch.
And then it was a weird weekend. It was, the Bengals winning and it was just so exciting. But then the sad news in learning that Howard Hessman, who created the iconic character Dr. Johnny Fever, has passed at the age of 81.
That's when you knew that Cincinnati was winning yesterday.
Oh, yeah. It's just crazy the way that it happened. Of course, he played Charlie in Head of the Class. But there weren't a lot of characters like Johnny Fever on television during this time because post-Vietnam War and post-Summer of Love and all that, Americans didn't really have an appetite for that type of character. And so he was the first to bring it back. And he did such a, fabulous job. So rest in peace, Howard Hessman at age 81. Got to get to a break. We'll come back more on the way here on In the Know.
Many wives don't understand how important meaningful work is to their husbands. Work is more than a way to make money. It's a part of their identity. Think about two guys who meet for the first time. One of the first questions they'll ask each other is, "What kind of work do you do?" That's more than a way to break the ice. It's how men size each other up. Who has the better job? Who's more powerful, more important, more successful? They're like two bucks squaring off in the wild, shaking their antlers at each other. Deep down, men want to make a positive difference in the world, and work is one of their greatest opportunities to do that. White collar or blue collar, men want their work to improve life for their families and to make a difference in the community and the world. Without a greater purpose to fight for every day, an important part of a man's identity goes unnourished. By contrast, a man who takes pride in his work will feel more confident in other areas of his life, like being a good husband, a good father, or a good neighbor. His desire to make a positive contribution will ripple outward and bless everyone around him. Ladies, to connect with your husband at a deeper level, celebrate his work. Tell him that you're proud of him. Praise him in front of your children. Your affirmation will bolster his confidence as a husband, a father, and open his heart to you. To help your marriage thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Are you wondering if this year you'll still be asking why it seems so easy for other people to find love but so hard for me? If you're feeling the pain of being alone and are tired of everyone around you finding their soulmates and leaving you behind, then get ready to remove the barriers to finding the marriage of your dreams and start believing it's possible for you. Hi, I'm Jackie Dorman. Join me in my Married in 12 Months challenge, where I'll teach you why now is your time to find love, what are the lies that are holding you back, why God wants you to be married, the biblical law of attraction, and the tools you need to become a bride. Listen, if you deeply desire to be married but you're still single, you should be doing something about it. Sign up for my free Married in 12 Months 5-day challenge at lovestories.com. The only thing you have to lose is the pain of being alone on your journey. So join me at lovestories.com. That's lovestories.com.
We're a farm store, a family store, a look what I found store. We're a store made for real people and some real beasts. We're a hey neighbor kind of store and an everyday low price store. We're Rural King, and we're working hard to be your favorite store. Check out the huge selection of men's, women's, and kids' Wrangler clothing at the lowest prices every day, like these Wrangler Retro Bootcut jeans for just $49.99.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real.
MB's point to ponder for today. So, following up on about Wordle. I haven't. Maybe someone has. If we took the words of Wordle, do you think they might be a warning? Like if you put all the words together, you think they might be trying to tell us something? Like something about the end of the world, or I don't know.
It's like a secret message kind of thing?
Yes, it would. I mean,
is it like one of those, I know in the newspaper they put where you got to jumble it and it comes out to be a joke? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Or it could be a modern equivalent of the Little Orphan Annie's secret decoder pin, where you get the word and then you're supposed to, okay, these words go, you rearrange the words and it may say,
Who day?
Don't look in the closet or something. It has to be a 5-letter word. So they all have to be five-letter words. So that would have to be part of the calculus.
Super Bowl.
Sam, is Tom Brady retired?
Yes. I think it's and people are all ripping onto Adam Schefter and all that. And listen, somebody like that isn't making a report like that unless it's coming from somebody that would know. He's not just going to throw that out there. And here's my thing: is I think Tom Brady wanted to make the announcement himself, which I respect. And now he's keeping his name in the news. Oh, is he retiring? Because and that's what drove me the craziest. And I get it; he's a really good player. But yesterday, It's the AFC and NFC championship, and 50% of the pregame shows were dedicated to Tom Brady. And I get it. He's the greatest football player of all time, but it was just frustrating as a Bengal fan that I don't get that moment, that it was more, oh, Tom Brady.
Miss Buckles, you had a reaction to that.
I'm sorry, how many times has he retired?
You're thinking of Brett Favre.
Yeah, you're thinking of Tom Brady has not retired. No. He just played. He played forever. After 22 seasons, he's finally maybe retiring. But I figured it out. I mean, and I'm not the only one who's figured it out. But there's a reason. There's a reason Schefter gave the report, and it's credible that he's going to retire. But now, if you read that his contract says that his $15 million of his $20 million signing bonus was deferred to February 4, 2022.
So he's got to get
if
there.
He retires before that date, they don't owe him that $15 million. So while the word is going around, he's going to retire, he's finally going to retire, and he signaled that. He's talking about his kids are at an age and blah, blah, blah. I get it. But he needs to stay active because he is owed that money. And I don't think Tampa Bay will quibble. They got a championship out of the deal that they weren't going to get with him, so they'll gladly pay him the $15 million. They'll make that money back,
So who were they talking about this morning when I came through the bedroom? And they said that they had spoke with his dad, or...
That's Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady says that he doesn't know. So they're just trying to keep it. They're trying to keep a poker face with Tampa Bay so that they'll get that $15 million check. And then they'll say, after thinking about it for a long time, I think it's now best that I retire. And so
I just love it that now he gets to overshadow that other quarterback who retired this year at his Hall of Fame.
I'm sorry. I really thought it was
He
Tom
gets to
Brady
overshadow
that has
that,
retired
which is
multiple
great.
times. But.
No, it hadn't been. He's been. I am a little bit surprised, but I think after talking about how he could play until he was 50, or he thought he could, his body is holding up, and it is. But that may signal that he doesn't have the confidence in anybody being able to put together an instant championship team that he could step into.
The reason why, right?
Well, the Bengals are going to be good for a while
because Joe Burrow is healthy.
Yeah.
Last year he realized, okay, I got another year. He's coming back from the knee injury. Maybe it's not coming, but now he's just terrified of what he'd have to face in the Super Bowl.
The Bills are going to be good. And the Chiefs are going to be good. The Bengals are going to be good for a while.
Chargers, I think, are coming.
So throw the Rams in there; they can be good as well. So it's not going to be all Brady all the time over the next couple of seasons. And he wants to go out a year beyond the championship. He doesn't want to languish. So, The Bachelor tonight on ABC. On NBC, celebrating Betty White, America's Golden Girl. That's on NBC tonight. And I read a tidbit this morning that Cher, yes, the Cher, remade the Golden Girls theme song just for this special tonight. So you get to hear Cher singing "Thank You for Being a Friend." And then on A&E, the series premiere of Adults Adopting Adults.
Lady Cougars hosting North Bullitt, 7 o'clock tonight.
North Bullitt. Today's highlight in history. This day, 1958, the United States entered the space age with its first successful launch of a satellite, Explorer 1, from Cape Canaveral. In 1919, Jackie Robinson was born in Georgia. Alan Shepard, Edgar Mitchell, and Stuart Roosa blasted off aboard Apollo 14 on a mission to the moon, this date in 1971. Birthdays today. Nolan Ryan is 75. Kelly Lynch is 63. Bobby Moynihan is 45. Kerry Washington, Olivia Pope, is 45. Justin Timberlake is 41. And Marcus Mumford of Mumford & Sons is 35 today.
Talk about a 1-2 punch for baseball birthdays. Jackie Robinson and Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. They share a
I'm not
day.
sure it could get much better than that.
Not a date. Zane Grey was born in 1872. Tallulah Bankhead was born in 1902. I don't know, other than Tallulah Bankhead being an actress, what she was in a movie called Stage Door Canteen. I just really wanted the opportunity to say Tallulah. That's such a fun word. Tallulah. And Carol Channing was born this date in 1921. Ernie Banks was born this date in 1931.
Wow. 1, 2, 3. I mean,
yeah. Suzanne Plachette, born this date in 1937.
There you go, Dennis Cook. You can't say that I'm always negative towards the Cubs. Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub.
Let's go to 1961, the Shirelles, number 1. I'd like to stay with that song.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I think I like the movie Dirty Dancing more than I should.
Did you watch that again this weekend?
No, I haven't watched it in quite some time.
It's
But
a great movie.
She loves it. It's every woman my age loves that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't, but I do. I don't know why.
If I'm being honest, I've probably never seen it.
Yeah, you won't like it. It doesn't mean anything to you.
No.
It's just good. The Jackson 5, number 1 in 70. I Want You Back.
All right, another great movie.
It's what Tampa Bay's singing right now.
Then.
Are you proud of me that I'm not afraid to admit it?
Of course.
About Dirty Dancing? 1979, Rod Stewart, number 1.
Oh, wow.
It goes over there in the same pile with Grease. Grease.
No, I have seen that.
Dirty Dancing are over there. The reason I love Grease is because when I was a child, we had one television that we had to share. And so there had to be compromise among my sisters and I. And my grandparents would give us copies of Grease they recorded on VHS tape, and we would watch that. So it was just something, it was like a peacekeeping thing.
Mm-hmm.
There would be no arguments if it was on, even though it wasn't anything that I loved. But as a result, I learned to love it just because it's...
But I would bet you money that he could do the moves for the hand job.
Sandy at the carnival, though. Oh no, I'm more Grease like oh Grease like In Excess number 1, Need You Tonight in 1988. I Believe in You and Me, Whitney Houston in 97, Mariah Carey in 06, and Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud was number 1 7 years ago today. MB's Pearl of Wisdom says a weekend wasted isn't a wasted weekend. A wasted weekend isn't a wasted... A weekend wasted isn't a wasted weekend. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus and would like to, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on